I just wanted to make sure I didn't go over recording. And, so yeah, that's pretty much the debate. And I really am just having the hardest time deciding because, like, Yennefer and Geralt, like I said, they're basically soulmates. Their fates are eternally bound. Even if I were to go with Triss, that wouldn't stop the fact that Yennefer and Geralt are fated to always be bound together one way or another. And they just, through thick and thin, despite everything, they always manage to keep caring about each other and being together. And then Triss is just, I guess it's kind of like Geralt and Yennefer have a better or a more loving, I don't know, they have more of a relationship, quote unquote, but Triss is a better person, quote unquote. But I wouldn't even necessarily say that, because I wouldn't say Triss is a better person than Yennefer. It's just she's so much more warm and kind than Yennefer is. But then, like I said, they're the people who say that that's the reason that Yennefer is better for Geralt, because he's so, because Yennefer is a better match for him. Triss is like an opposite, and yes, opposites attract, but you know, Triss is just a warm and kind and caring person. And then you look at someone like Geralt, who's this gruff, stalwart, stubborn soul. You could say, yeah, that kind of warmth and kindness would be good for him and make him into a better person, but you could also say that it's just not a match for him. It won't work in the end because they're too different. He wants the things he wants, and the things he wants might not ever be the things that she wants, you know? And then you look at Geralt and Yennefer, and they're completely on the same page. Like, just for as stubborn and stalwart as Geralt is, Yennefer is just as much. And they understand each other and will always end up coming back to each other in the end, you know? I just don't know. I wish I knew more about them so I could make more of a decision, but that's basically what it comes down to. It's the kind person versus the quote-unquote genuine person. I guess I keep trying to come up with simple ways to put it, but there really is no simple way to put it, because nothing encapsulates everything. I like to imagine that Geralt has actually just been walking in circles this whole time, letting all of this go through his head, trying to decide between the two of them. I just don't know. Because it's...
Saw you at Chapel's Burning. Something about you stinks of wizardry.
Okay. It's just... it's not cut and dry, that's the thing. There are so many reasons to go with both options. There's so many reasons to go with Yennefer, there's so many reasons to go with Triss, and they're both... I wouldn't say that one is any better an option or any better a person in general than the other. It's just so difficult. Pick some flowers, take my mind off of it. Gosh, I can only imagine what Geralt must be going through thinking about this whole thing. Because I had something of... I mean, it would be a stretch to put it lightly to call it a similar issue, but I did have kind of a decision I had to make at some point with my girlfriend. Because I was kind of with somebody already. But that relationship was kind of juvenile, I guess, and distant. Like, we met at a summer camp. It was the first relationship either of us had ever been in. And you could, I guess, call it a stretch to even call it a relationship. And we lived, after summer camp, we lived like 2.5 hours away from each other. Never really got to see each other. But, I mean, I still cared about her, you know? Like, she was, at the time, she was my girlfriend. As, that's how it was in my mind. That's how it was in her mind. Even if we never really got to see each other, we talked on the phone all the time. We sent each other messages. And every once in a great while, her parents actually did bring her down to see me. My parents would never bring me to see her because my parents are lazy. I shouldn't say that. Just twice she had a birthday because, you know, that happens regularly. And both times I tried to get Dad to take me down to see her, and he just wouldn't. And I'm not throwing crap at him for that, because, like, I don't blame him, but it just would have been really nice, you know? And so then, while I was, my current girlfriend, I was out walking one day, and I happened to see her in front of her house, which I just learned, which I just found out then, when I saw her, was like 2 minutes away from mine. Never knew that she lived that close to me. And we'd known each other, we'd been acquainted since elementary school, then didn't really see each other all through middle and junior high. But then, no, at the end of junior high, actually, 8th grade, I had a class with her, and I started to have a crush on her. But then, that class ended, school ended, the summer camp, I met that girlfriend at summer camp. But yeah, then when I saw her again, we were like, hey, hi, what's up? Wanna talk and go for walks and stuff? Like friends? Sure. And so we did. And then I didn't think it would be an issue, but eventually old feelings started coming back. And when I blah blah, and I tried to fight it, but it just, you know, couldn't fight it. And eventually I finally figured, you know what, I'm just going to tell her how I feel, because, I mean, it's killing me to not say it, you know. And so I intentionally texted it to her. I texted her that I kind of still was having feelings for her, figuring that, you know what, I'm going to send it in a text message, just be done with it, it's not going to go anywhere, I'm just putting it on the table, there we go. To my dismay / joy, she responded that she was feeling the same way. And basically, long story short, it ended up just, we couldn't control it. The feelings just kept growing, and I felt so bad about it, but eventually I just had to call current girlfriend and tell her I'm sorry, I can't lie to you, and you know, if I really like someone else, I'm not going to lie to you and stay in a relationship with you when I don't actually, like, when I feel this way for someone else, because that would be dishonest, you know? And so that was that. It was terrible, there were tears, and I hated it, but it's ended up being for the better in the end. And it's been now 6 years that I've been together with my current girlfriend. So, as much as I regret having to hurt my first girlfriend in the process, that's the only regret I have, obviously. And so now you know that much about my life. And now we can get back to Geralt's. I think that I am leaning towards Yennefer, just because they are, like I said, quote unquote, meant to be together. They are destined to forever be tied to each other. And it seems I'm of the mind that while yes, Triss does genuinely care for Geralt and does genuinely want the best for him, that doesn't necessarily mean she, like, really loves him with all her heart, you know? What it kind of seems like what Triss and Geralt have
Next bloke to
is...
tell me a witch's heart's cold to the woes of the common man gets my fist down his lying gullet. Good grief.
Good for you,
Foot
dude.
wrappings reek.
But it kind of seems like what Triss and Geralt have is just a tremulous, like, they're flirting, you know? Like, they're not really in a deep and loving relationship. They're just, I like you, you like me. Like, do you like me? Check yes or no. They're infatuated with each other, but that's all. Does he have the
Rain
body
doesn't
of a
bother you,
woman?
it seems.
Wait a minute. Am I crazy, or does this guy have, like, boobs and feminine hips?
Real cloudburst.
Is it just because he's an elf? That's definitely a masculine face.
Rain doesn't bother you, it seems.
I think I'm going crazy. Maybe it's just the shirt. Maybe the shirt just looks like boobs. And maybe he's just wearing tight pants because elf. But oh my gosh. So, back to serious... serious fate of my life as we know it conversation.
Pass over lots of rain.
Oh, goodness. That's basically me in a nutshell. I just don't know, man. It's such a hard decision, and I'll never be able to make the right one. And just, I love her. But does that guy have boobs? But yeah, like Triss and Geralt, their relationship isn't really deeply rooted, you know? They've been together, and she does really care about him, and he really does care about her, but not, like, while they are completely, devoted in the sense that they would do anything for each other, I don't know if that necessarily makes them, like, in love with each other, you know? They're the best of friends, and they're always going to be the best of friends, and they're always going to care about each other, but she just, like, I don't know if I can really explain it. It's just, they care about each other, and they'll always care about each other, but their relationship in terms of romantics is just, I guess it's just kind of shallow. Not shallow in the sense that they don't really care about each other, but shallow in the sense that it's just, they haven't really, their feelings for each other aren't that deeply rooted, you know? Like, she likes him, but she doesn't love him, you know? Like, she wants to love him, but I don't think she does yet, and I feel like Geralt might feel the same way. As opposed to Yennefer, whereas Geralt and Yennefer are, and even if they're not quite yet, just because of all of the confusion with what's going on, they were and have potential to, again, be just in truest, deepest love with each other, you know? Something that, right now, Geralt and Triss just don't have. And I understand that if I choose Triss, then they will have that, but I don't know if that's the way it should be, you know? I don't know, I gotta just keep thinking about it. I'm sure Geralt will spend many sleepless nights wondering. What is this? Huh. Interesting. Alright. All of that out in the air now. I think I'm going to go ahead and rest until around midnight. Seems like a lovely spot.